Hey everybody, Vic here, and today, I didn't expect this to come out already, but funny, I wouldn't even talked about the leaks. If it was just going to come out today, I would have just made an announcement video, but whatever. Anyways, so the Roland TR-1000 Rhythm Creator is now out. So just to rip the band-aid, because I'm sure that's going to be the first question to everybody. I don't feel like wasting a bunch of people's time. It is $2,700, and this is in US pricing. So with the range that we found yesterday, or I found and just showed everybody, this is right in the middle for the American market, and for anything else, yeah, it's an expensive price, because this is pivoted more to like a all-in-one style thing, which I'm going to go over the features now just because of how everything it has is trying to be like, okay, this is the only rhythm machine you would ever need because it does so much. So let's just go through the features. First of all, let's just start right here with the actual thing, because now we got higher resolution than just leaked pictures. Starting from the top left, we got volume and external in, which they actually have. You can do dual mono external in, or or just one mono or stereo, which I think is pretty cool if you have two extra instruments you want to throw into there and they're both mono. It has the stuff that you would see both on the MC707 and TR-800 being song, sample, pattern select, TR record, the play. Like, this is essentially like the TR-800 right here. Same with some of these here, where it has like your A through H patterns, your shift, mutes, and then the whole start, stop, and then here's your pattern keys down here for 16 steps within, obviously, the A through H. And then besides that, like on the bottom here, it has like, okay, there's bass, drum, toms, all that, all together. And then your little play modes you can do, which they have the newer stuff here being like slice and snapshot, which is actually, I like sample slicing because I use Electron a lot, so that actually is pretty decent of a feature. What I also like, the headphones and volume for the headphones is down here. That's smart, because this thing is so giant, I wouldn't want to wrap a headphone cable around the top. So, good on them. So, next up, just starting with the effects, you can do step accents just like you could before, the reverbs, delays, and then master effects. And then they also have a whole section of analog effects. And then just like on the TR, your bass drum, your snare drum, your low tom, high tom, no just tom, poor tom, and then your rim shot and hand clap, and then your closed and open hi-hats, no low hats, only hi-hats here, and then your crash cymbal and ride cymbal. And then, of course, one thing, because before filming this, I went and watched a few videos on it just so I can be more informed, because I'm not giant, so I don't have a bunch of sponsors willing to give me this one, as in I don't have any sponsors. But if you want to go listen to the sounds on Roland's channel themselves, they have a full performance and a quick 12-minute rundown. If you want a super rundown, there's Lou Pop, who always does his hour-long videos on it. And, of course, there's every one of your bigger influencers is going to have this. So, coming over here, one thing I saw in the Roland video for it, you can actually do knob assigns. So, he said in the Roland video, the fellow who was showing it off, said you can pretty much assign any knob to how you want, which, granted, is very good. But then my only thing with it is you got this giant machine, which I'll put in perspective soon enough, and this tiny little boy up here. It would be nice if it was you can go down to like here, or just fill the corner more and then like put this up here just a little bit bigger. Like, I know that's a minor gripe, but hey, it's $2,700. A lot of people who, like, I'm just thinking, like, also, like, say you're using this for a live performance, no clubs are usually like perfectly lit, or unless you have like one of the desk lights. I would like a bigger screen, just in general, just because it makes it easier, especially because from what I saw, there is a lot of menus, so a bigger screen would be really nice. But that's just a minor gripe of mine with this. Not that there's much to gripe about, honestly. This from what I can see and hear, I do like the machine. Like I said before yesterday, I don't hate this machine. It's just expensive. I'm going to wait for a sale, like how the Gaia 2 did go on sale. Anyways, so moving down here, it has your different layerings, your kits and all that. Like I said, this is like a combo of the 707, the TR-8S, and then with a lot of new Roland flavor in it, and then a lot of Electron in it, and then the size of a Percons. But the coolest thing they did here, which is something I really love on my Octatrack, is you got your morph slider that can either be like a filter to fill in, because it's assignable. You can morph aspects. You can go and have like fade in, or a lot. He showed off a bunch of different things this could do. That's really cool. That's a great idea. I wish Electron honestly would put that on more than just the Octatrack for their stuff, but Roland did it here. So, and like I said, that's pretty cool of them. I can give it props for what it did. It's a lot of extra technology in it. So this is like their newest Mac Daddy Super Rhythm end all be all drum machine. So the chassis is steel, top gray plate is aluminum. R.I.P. to the Aria green. I'll forever miss it, just because I liked all the green, and that's my opinion. I never left the Matrix because the green era of everything was just so cool. So you're going to have your just humongous plug now, which, I mean, granted, it's a USB-C for the drive, and there is an app for it on the computer that lets you tweak it a little bit easier, and that's also for like your sample upload, because it also has a full sampler slicing, all that stuff. An external device for extra storage, which I believe it still has 48 gigabyte storage within it itself, which when we get to the Roland video, I'm going to show it also. I had this like really cool USB stick I'm going to try and find now. It has Mini out through and sync and in. And then it also has expression pedal control, which they said it could be for a start-stop switch, or you can assign it to how you want through all the menus. And then CV triggers. Then here's your external in, where you can have 1 to 2 monos or 1 stereo, which I thought that was pretty cool. I would like all of the stereos to do that, because I thought that was a pretty neat feature to hook up 2 monos to 1 instrument. Just because for, like, with how much space this takes up, it would be nice to not have to also worry about, okay, I also need a huge mixer. You know, if I could put everything to just 1 or 2 slots with like one of them tiny mixers, like the new Zoom L6 Live Max, or like a 1010 Music Blue Box, it would just be nice just for space considerations given the size of this one. And then of course here you have your individual outs and trigger outs, and then your mix out, which you can also do just the FX out too, which is actually pretty cool. I haven't seen if it would do multi-track via USB, like on this USB, the USB-C right here. I don't know if it'll do that like the TR-8S does, because like if you have the TR-8S hooked up to USB and then say into Ableton, you can get each individual track. I would say maybe, because I don't know why they would take away features that they already have programmed, but I didn't see someone confirming nor denying that. So there's the price again, $2,700, and this is on Sweetwater's site, but I mean that's just the American pricing. The pricing will vary depending on what country you're in, and I'm going to put this link in the description. I'm not affiliated, so I won't get anything from it. I would like to be affiliated for like the one guy who would buy this from my tiny channel, and then I would get probably $5. But they gave this giant write-up here of just tons of stuff about it, all the write-ups, but I'm going to skip all that, so I'm not just sitting with my monotone voice reading everything to you, because that's pointless. You can go read that yourself, and I don't need the pad video time. I just want to get this out here. So let's go to the spark notes of this, of essentially what are the features. First, we have the cutting edge drum machine that brings a true successor to the iconic TR line of drum machines because it is an analog 808 and 909 within there, along with that ACB modeling, so it is a bit of a hybrid. It has visionary sound design opportunities by combining analog, digital, multi-engine, and sample sounds with per layer effects, modulation, and more. Which the more is like the stuff I showed you, all the stuff buried in the menus. It has 16 painstakingly recreated analog circuits because they have to have some pain too, as the consumer will with the price. And from the original TR-808 and TR-909 to give you the first official analog sound engine for Roland drums in 40 plus years, which is actually funny because Roland went and said they didn't feel like, what are their exact words? I think it was, we don't feel like chasing analog ghosts anymore. And then I guess they saw there's been an analog resurgence with a lot of people wanting analog again. And like, oh man. Anyways, moving on, we got multiple entries of 808 and 909 kits, guaranteed historical accuracy by capturing the natural fluctuations that changes production at the age of analog 808 and 909 tones, which I believe they said it was like over 2,000 something sounds in there naturally before you even start sampling. And it's got new parameters, extended tuning ranges, and a wealth of onboard sound shaping tools. Breathe accelerating life into classic analog sounds without all this different stuff they had on there. ACB modeling engine expands the 808-909 range of 120 circuit bit 8X and 9X kits. Onboard PCM, FM, and virtual analog engines open the doors for extensive sound design via synth tones, classic Roland libraries, and dynamic digital textures, and more. Who knows what the more is? They're just going to keep. I mean, like, so let's just take the TR-8S and SP404 Mark II, for example. Roland does give updates. So where this sits right now, this is just the start. Unless they decide, oh, this is just it, and that'll be weird. But Roland usually gives a lot of updates. So I don't see this becoming just, unless it just somehow gets panned and no one buys it, because who knows. But from just Roland's track record, I don't think they're going to be quick to abandon this one, and we might get more features in the future. Moving on, analog effects include cutting-edge state variable filter and drive to sculpt the contour textures, timbres, harmonics, and heat. Which one thing I did see also is that for the sequencer got an overhaul compared to the TR-8S, where now you can do like micro timing, where you can barely adjust stuff with one of the knobs in the menu. It's actually really cool. I'll want to leave the link to the Roland videos also, just so y'all can watch what I watch, because again, I don't feel like just making reactionary content. I want to actually give my input and read the stuff out for everybody here. We have expansive digital effects, further augment your expressive palette with tenacious texturization tools from crushers and compressors to flangers and spatialization. Advanced sampling engine supports on-the-fly time stretching, non-destructive slicing, BPM sync, and true stereo sampling and resampling. Which, I mean, like I said, from what I've seen with it, it's a lot of Electron-inspired stuff in there, and Electron is really good at sampling, at least in my experience. Some people like Electron. Like, when I see with Electron, some people either like it or they really hate it, because it is a little bit menu diving. I personally like it, but I took a lot of time to learn it. And then here's the big boy here that I mentioned, 46 gigabytes of onboard storage. That is really nice. I don't know how much they're already taking up with what the 2,000 sounds, because it says like there are 2,000 plus onboard sounds. I don't know how much they're already taking up of that 46 gigabyte, or if that's the 46 gigabyte that's left. The Morph slider allows for evocative expression via customizable macro assignments and per matter morph parameters, which of course, yeah, that's really nice. I really enjoy that new feature they put on there. That's a very smart thing to do. I find like any type of little sliders and stuff like that can be assigned or do different things is a very useful thing on a lot of instruments, especially in rhythm and sampling. External routing into analog analog, and dedicated analog FX stereo output pair means nearly any instrument or audio source can be transmogrified. Look, man, this is why I don't read. By the match to the TR-1000. I mean, like, I have the whole series where I don't even read instruction manuals and just start playing stuff and hope I figure it out. Ferocious, flexible, and focused TR record sequencing allows for extensive, quantized, off-grid swing and multi-directional progressions, which is the per-track effects, per-step effects, which I do enjoy. Those are actually very cool to get little things. And I did see one thing they did within the demo video where they were doing time stretches on like single or double notes, so you can get really swirling effects, which I think is really cool. 16 velocity steps. Complement customizable cycle behavior per step probability to ensure every sequence maintains versatility and keeps your mix fresh. Snapshots and step loops to further expand sequencing and compositional capabilities by capturing knob and fader motions, like I mentioned. Per drum quarter-inch output, send both audio and trigger signals. Additional trigger CV 5-pin Midi. And in sync connections ensure detailed integrations with Euro rack units, which I did see they did hook it up to a Euro rack just to show they can. I really don't use Euro rack that much because it's something I'm not going to get into. It's just like I wouldn't even know which direction I'm going for Euro rack because there's just way too many options, and then next my whole wall is going to be one massive Euro rack that's taller than me, and I don't need like my house to become a sinkhole and just cave in from just a pile of Euro rack. USB Type-A port, direct use with USB Midi devices, supporting flash drives for system updates, data management, and transferring WAV files to and from your sample library. And USB Type-C port lets the TR-1000 function as a full-fledged multi-channel audio and MIDI interface, bringing DAWs, plugins, and virtual instruments to your setup. Multi-channel audio, good. That's what I wanted. So they did keep that feature. Very good. Like I said, I don't hate this instrument. It's just expensive. People think I hate this and I hate Roland. No, I have a ton of Roland. I love Roland to a point. I don't like the cloud stuff. But with what it is, I'm going to wait for a sale. Because the Gaia 2 went on a big sale. When this goes on sale, I might pick one up. Depending. We'll see. Like, I can wait a whole couple years. I got a TR-800 and plenty of other things. I don't need to go rush out to buy things as it is. I have, like, a house and normal bills to pay for. So just roll down the quick tech specs. It has 2 1/4 left and right analog inputs, to the mix, the FX, and the individual triggers for outputs to headphones, which on the front is really cool, and out through. Quarter-inch pedal control, all the little trigger ends, clocks, CVs, and the USB-C and A for external devices, and then you're going to get that massive power. So, like I said, I'll leave this in the link if you want to read over Sweetwater's big ol' write-up, or I'm going to leave, like I said, there's plenty of influencers that got one of these for free that can go and actually show off the sounds better, because obviously there's no sounds here, and I don't want to play someone else's video because it is not mine. So, going over to the Roland channel, and I'm not going to play it, I'm just, again, going to go and just show pictures. The first thing, this is the dude's hands. This is a big old boy here. So I want to try and get some perspective of just like a guy standing, and there's the hands, and there's the guy right there. So yeah, that is a big boy of an aluminum and steel synth, or a drum machine, rhythm composer, whatever you want to call it, an all-in-one super machine. Here's, I think I had, if I'm going to just play a little bit. There's all the menus where he just shows a little bit more of the menus hiding there. And then, once again, here's the look of it with his hands down there. Like I said, this is a big boy. lot of synth there, a lot of space. And I also like how it's a just massive plug, too, instead of, because I know my TR-800 is just that little, sort of like a Boss pedal plug. Well, not a Boss pedal plug per se, but it's just a little, just a dot instead of an actual plug. But man, that poor Aria getting rid of the greens and all the colors. We're going to this little just gray. If I get one, I'm gonna put stickers on it or something, or like those strip lights that you can change with your actually it'd be pretty cool because it's got so much space. If you put like around the whole edges, because there's nothing really there besides like the headphone port, but just on the outside edges here. If you put those LED sticky lights that can sync to music and sound, and then just put like the headphones just right here to make it listen to, like, have the light controller listen to that, so then you have like your thing light up and sync to the sounds you're playing. I think that'll be a pretty funny idea. I mean, you got all this real estate. Make it light up and be colorful and sync to your music. That'll be really cool for a performance. So then, continuing on, like, okay, they show here, where was it? That you can go and put external pedals like the switch, the triggers, and all that. And then also, where's the last thing I wanted to show? Here it is, like hooked up to external devices here. And then they also have an actual performance by Egyptian Lover. So I'm going to say that's the dude right there. And like I said, you can just go and look up. So just searching the Roland TR-1000, we got like Alex Ball, Anderson's, Loop Pop, Sonic State, the Roland, Store DJ, Sweetwater's video, Epstein Craft. And Epstein Craft would say that. I mean, he's not wrong. And like, I don't like, I got so much hate for just saying, like, okay, just in this economy, $2,700 is a lot, regardless of who you are. That's a good chunk of change, buddy. I'm just saying, like I work and all, but I'm talking about like for the average person. This is not a price for the average person. That's just the way I'm putting it. And then, like I said, you just go search it and you can find plenty of people who have one. So just going back to the big picture that in here, like I said, I don't hate this. Roland went and made, from what it seems, because I don't have one and we only have review copies out right now, from what I've seen and heard, this is a very good machine. So I don't hate Roland. I like Roland, which most people don't realize. $2,700 is just expensive in today's economy. I am making an observation. We don't need to get all mad about it, because this isn't for the everyman person at this price. As I stated, it would be nice if it gets cheaper. I personally am waiting this for a sale, or eventually we're going to get like the TR-1000S in a year, and then this is going to be like $1,500. Who knows? Roland is Roland. Anyways, I'm going to leave all the links in the description just so everyone can watch. And to all the new people that showed up, welcome to the channel. And there is going to be an actual normal videos, because I didn't expect my video yesterday to really explode. I just saw something, I'm like, oh, look at that, I want to talk about it. And then suddenly I have 1,000 views on the video. I don't know how that happened. Anyway, so my normal upload schedule is Mondays. I talk about deals of the week that I find. Wednesdays is synth content, and Fridays I usually do effects pedals content just to try and mix it up, along with just little things that I have in between. And then whenever I finish my music, I do upload it and release it. And there's just going to be different things every now and then. But I appreciate everyone, old and news viewership. Thanks for watching. I welcome any discussion, like I said yesterday, and I did try to respond to every single comment, all like 50 to 90 of them. Yeah, I could. Because I'm trying, like I said, I welcome discussion. I wanted to discuss this because I enjoy music and instruments. I like to see other people's perspectives of their experiences and what they have in music and instruments, because it is a very large community. I mean, like, okay, the internet gets worldwide. I want to see what other people think. But I appreciate the viewership, so just like and leave a comment, and I'll try to respond. Unless it just gets like 10,000 comments, and obviously I can't respond to all of those. And if you're new here, please subscribe to help get the channel to grow bigger so I can get my ramblings or other news out, because I do just appreciate viewership. And I'm going to try and keep my channel going as long as I can. Who knows? But thanks for watching.